Hey there, Walt here from WaltInPA. It's early June, I think it's June 1st to be precise, and that got me thinking, you know, it's been just about a year since I started motovlogging. I've learned an awful lot along the way, and I thought for this video, maybe we'll do a little anniversary tribute. Now, I don't have old footage to put together a sappy slideshow and bring a tear to your eye, or anything like that. Videos take up a lot of storage space, FYI. But what I thought I would do is share some of my observations from a year doing this thing. So, sit tight, then we'll talk.
I have a good idea. I'm going to do a favour for my friend. This is Trekkie Moto, and you're watching WaltInPA.
So I guess the number one thing you should know about creating a motovlog, something that I discovered not long after getting started, was that it is a lot more work than you anticipate. You know, there's time getting out on the bike, recording videos, doing a little bit of topic research. If you've got a point you want to make, something specific you want to talk about, there's time in post-production. You've got to edit your videos, you've got to upload your videos, you've got to do all the YouTube magic, you know, create thumbnails, create titles, add cards, add timestamps, backlinks, you know, all this stuff if you want to make your videos as user-friendly as possible. Now, in addition to actual time, there's also a lot of money involved. Now, there are tons and tons of videos out there that will explain to you how you can start motovlogging on the cheap. And I'm not discounting any of those. There are wonderful resources out there that will get you started for as little money as possible. But one thing after another, eventually the costs will start to add up. You've got your primary camera. Eventually you may end up adding a secondary camera. You've got a microphone inside the helmet. You need to buy SD cards. Then if you decide to sign up for any services, you know, those are going to cost you money. Now, again, a lot of this stuff is optional. You could get away with a single camera and no services using free software and free resources, and you can make amazing videos. There are lots of motovloggers out there that do just that. But keep in mind, if you're the type that has gear acquisition syndrome, the costs will climb rapidly. So in addition to being time-consuming and expensive as you want it to be, there's also a fair bit of stress that comes along with it. At least with me anyway, because I am hyper-competitive when it comes to myself. I like to see a progression. If I produce a video this week and it does okay, when I produce another video next week, I expect it to do better. And if it doesn't, it kind of stresses me out. Now, you have to keep in mind that not everything is a home run. You will have some motovlogs that do well. You'll have some motovlogs that will just be a complete flop. It comes with the territory. Now, as a direct result of motovlogging being a difficult thing to do, or a difficult thing to do successfully, there is a tremendously high amount of turnover in our little niche. People start a motovlog and they expect certain results, and when they don't come, they get discouraged, and, well, there are a lot of dormant motovlogs. But if there was one piece of advice that I could give you as a motovlogger to make life a little bit easier on yourself, I would say find your voice and be true to yourself. You know, I've tried the whole search engine optimization thing. I've recorded content that should theoretically do well in search. But when I was finished, I just wasn't happy. Now, taking this approach, there's one thing you need to understand. When you throw the fancy thumbnails away and you disregard search engine optimization, growth becomes very, very, very slow. So I've seen a number of motovlogs come and go. I've seen a number of new motovlogs pop up and roar past me in the subscriber count. And in the grand scheme of things, they're doing it right. They're producing content that people want to see on YouTube and are searching out. And so there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking that direction with your motovlog. It's just not something that makes me happy. Now, that's also not a cop-out for, oh, you know, my motovlog could be doing so much better if I just did this. No, that's not it at all. I just like talking and telling stories. That's not to say I won't do something later on down the line that is a little more search-friendly. You know, the upside to going about this motovlog thing the way I am is that my audience seems tremendously loyal. I get some amazing content. My watch time is solid. My views, on the other hand, not so much. I'm not pulling in a lot of search traffic. So when that video happens to post and it gets over 100 views, I am that ridiculous guy fist pumping in excitement. 100 views? Booyah! So I guess the moral of the story to that is just be yourself and don't get discouraged. Again, you're going to have videos that do well. You're also going to have videos that flop. And it's not about success and failure on an individual basis. What you really need to focus on is being consistent. You're going to develop a viewership, and you want that viewership to know what to expect. So that means if you turn around and you tell your viewership, I'm going to produce a video every Wednesday, you need to do your damnedest to produce a video every Wednesday. Show your viewers that they can count on you for content. Doesn't have to be the greatest thing in the world. All it has to do is put a smile on their face or create an interesting thought for just a few seconds. And you're golden. You've done your job. So as I mentioned previously, there's this little bit of secret sauce as to whether or not a motovlog seems to be doing well. Now for analytics, just the other day I posted my 125th video, which is no small feat. I was quite shocked when that alert popped up. Now, along with those 125 videos, I've gotten somewhere along the lines of 10,000 views. Another milestone that popped up a couple weeks back, so we may be closer to 11,000, maybe 12,000 at this point. My average video gets about 50 to 75 views. I've produced a couple of biggins, you know, by my channel standards, that have gotten, you know, 2,000 views or more. So any way you slice it, I'm just a little fish. And all of this, I don't know, these tips and this insight and my observations, in the grand scheme of things, mean nothing if you want a successful motovlog, a big, successful motovlog, because I simply don't have one. And I can't give you any advice on how to make one. So to summarize, motovlogging is a lot of work. If you're going to do it, you need to love it. You need to enjoy it, every aspect of it. Otherwise, it's going to stop being fun very, very quickly. And realistically, it's just not worth the effort to do it for 2, 3, 4, 5 months and then quit. So if this is something that you want to do, give it a good, solid go. And have realistic expectations. Set up some achievable milestones so that you can track your progression. Be prepared to stumble along the way. Your first few motovlogs, or maybe your first 125, are really going to suck. You may not resonate with a lot of people, but over time you will develop a fan base, people that come to your channel to hear your thoughts and opinions on any given thing, whether it's on motorcycles or whatever you feel like talking about. After all, it is your show. Don't get tied up into needing the best gear. You can get away with older, used equipment and save money. The The cost of entry does not have to be astronomical. And as seasoned motorcycle riders will tell you, ride your own ride. Be your own motovlogger. You do you, homie. And that is all the advice I can give you. Hopefully you found it worthwhile. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the WaltInPA channel. If you really like this video, hit that bell notification and you'll get an alert anytime something new is published to my channel. If you'd like to support me, the best way to do that is by giving this video a big old thumbs up, dropping a comment in the comment section down below, and sharing this video with your friends. As always, ride safe, and I will catch you in the next one.